You're listening to the Lovish Podcast, and I'm your host, Dr. Sita Hood, vision architect and licensed therapist. Each week, I'm going to help you to develop the belief and strategy necessary to make an immediate impact on the world by deep diving into topics like mental wellness, faith, relationships, and you guessed it, love. I should mention before we hop into the show, this is not a substitute for a relationship with a licensed therapist. You ready? Let's get it. Hello. Welcome back for another episode of the Lovish Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Sita Hood, vision architect and licensed therapist. It is a pleasure to be on these airways with you. It's a pleasure to be sharing space with you on YouTube today. How are you feeling? What is in your mug? What's the tea? What's going on? What's up? Are you enjoying this fall? Let me know in the comments. What has been your favorite thing about fall so far? All right, what's in your mug today? What you got? What you got? I have been testing out samples for 24K Vision, okay? Sample products, sample scents to decide which one I want to do for my 24K clients. And today we have the water mug, the 24K Club water mug. A little bit of ASMR for you here. Y'all know I like to be silly, but we got the water on deck. Okay, because fall is the perfect season to drink your water and mind your business. Okay? Because the holidays are coming. You're going to need to drink your water and mind your business, okay? So we got the 24K Club mug on deck. You hear that? You hear that ice still going, still fresh, okay? Because stop playing with us. And we also have the pumpkin cream chai tea latte on deck in our mug. And physically, mentally, how are we feeling? What is in our mug? I am feeling refreshed in this moment, and I can only go moment by moment, right? Because when you're in a phase of transformation, as we will talk about today, your emotions go haywire. You kind of go up, you kind of go down, you kind of go to the side, you lean to the left, you lean to the right, and take it over. Oh, okay. Seriously though, you are all over the place with your emotions and you like, God, I'm trying to trust you, but this is hard. It's hard out here. You know, it's hard out here for a saint. Okay, y'all. As you can see, I'm in rare form today, but yeah, it is hard. Real talk is hard. So in this moment, I am doing well. And that is what brought up today's topic, surrendering in transition. First of all, why is surrender important to your journey? Because you may have heard the phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Okay. If you haven't heard that phrase, I don't know where you've been. But there's no judgment, okay? Usually that implies that there's no point to go back to the drawing board and figure out something different to do because there's nothing wrong with the current process. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And surrender is relevant because a lot of times without surrender, you cannot become the most refined version of yourself. You will never seek to improve and your mentality will stay in the if it ain't broke, don't fix it phase because you are just fighting and going against the grain. And if you're not willing to admit that there's actually a problem, you will never turn around to see the problem. And a lot of times when we're in states of transition, we're coming up against opposition. Healthy opposition, yes, but also sometimes not so healthy opposition. So we can be fighting. And God is calling us to surrender and rest. And I know surrender is like a cuss word to ambitious women. I get it. But it's part of your journey. It's part of your evolution. It's part of your story. It's part of your refining process. So we're going to talk about 3 ways to surrender after we have a word from our sponsor for this episode. Meet me poolside in Arizona? You're tired of feeling alone and trapped in a cycle of mediocrity. You're tired of constantly juggling all the things to work in a job where you have no control over the work you do. And if one more person tells you just how easy it is to manifest your dreams, you are going to scream. You don't want to keep complaining because you know you're really blessed, but you just feel really miserable where you are and terrified to take the first step. That's why we're here. We're the Million Collective Inc., and we're going to help you ditch your notebook and launch your project in as little as 3 months. It's time to unlock the boldest version of you. No more $1 million ideas trapped in your notebooks or in the notes section of your phone. Deep down, you know you've got the genius, the tenacity, and the boldness to bring this project to life. But right now, the path there feels clouded with self-doubt. You want a clear step-by-step strategy to make this project a reality. You want to connect with other bold dreamers just like you. You want a launch strategy that leaves people ecstatic about your project release date. And you want to escape hustle culture, knowing the work that you do makes a difference. We're looking to partner with you. Join 24K Vision, a 90-day accelerator for audacious visionaries to ditch their notebooks and launch their project. Need the quick details? 90 days of support, accountability, and hot seat consulting on our group calls, a 4-day immersive, intimate weekend experience at the Andes Luxury Resort and Spa in Scottsdale, Arizona, 6 months of access to the 24K Club to connect with other audacious visionaries, access to our signature system, the Visionary Blueprint, and so much more. This is not just another program. It is a blueprint and a launch strategy, and we can't wait to partner with you to make your dreams a reality. Go ahead and click the link in the show notes or below this video to learn more. Welcome back. Okay, step 1 in how to surrender to the process. Cleanse. That's going to be our first thing. Honestly, the first step is to cry. Okay. I don't know if y'all ever seen that. So what you going to do about it? You going to cry or you going to boss up? And then the response. First of all, I'm going to do both. Okay. Cause that's what I'm going to do. I don't know about you, but I am going to do both. Seriously, crying is cleansing. And I'm laughing, but I'm serious. If you aren't a person who cries, I would generalize it to say cleansing, because tears are actually cleansing. Tears allow us to release our emotion, and they give space for our emotions to exist, because when we are bottling things up inside and they don't have a release, it's like shaking up a can of pop or soda. If you say soda, I say pop because I'm from Chi-Town, period. If you shaking up a can of pop, it's going to explode, right? If it has a small opening, then the liquid will seep out. And so when the pressure of life continues to build and it's too much in transition, you've got to let it out. You have to cleanse. You have to acknowledge that it hurts. You have to acknowledge that the process sucks, okay? You have to acknowledge that the rejection sucks. You have to acknowledge that the lack of support sucks. You have to acknowledge that whatever it is simply sucks. And the way that you cleanse could be by journaling. It could be by crying. It could be by sharing your heart with a friend. Recently, I had the presentation of an opportunity, and it took a lot out of me to decide whether I actually wanted to take the opportunity, because I felt like I had been burned by this company in the past by trying to stick my neck out there and take an opportunity, right? And I stuck my neck out there to try and figure out the opportunity. And I got rejected again. And that thing hit me, okay? I didn't know how bad I wanted the opportunity until I got rejected in that opportunity. And I had to acknowledge that rejection really, really hurt, right? But that rejection is an essential part of cultivating my specific character, because I got a thing against oppressive systems, okay? I got a thing against just all of these political facets that build up, right? Like, I have a thing with that. That's what my whole like platform and 24K vision is about, helping women, kingdom creatives, corporate women that want to bring different, unique programs to their corporations, CEOs seeking to expand their business, kingdom creatives that want to start something. I help those ambitious women launch and create their programs, because they design programs not just for the bread, but they design programs that have a deep impact in communities. And when those programs come to life, lives change, because these are not the type of women that do business just for the sake of doing business. These women do business to transform lives. And I know that those are the women that are called to me, because that's who I am. And so I work with women that want to do that. And that is our way to fight systemic oppression. The more businesses that we control, the more things that we are in charge of, the more lives we change and we shift. It's a ripple effect. It's a domino effect. So stuff like being rejected from a company really grinds my gears, but in the same breath, motivates me to go even harder to establish, number one, my own company, but number two, the companies of all these other women, and not just companies, but the infiltration of these corporate places, right? So for those C-suite execs that are like, I'm tired of playing this good old boys game, I see you, sis. I have carved out a space just for you, where you can bring your Starbucks drinking, hood repping, Target toting, cart pushing, Bible thumping self on into this space, and you will have full acceptance. Full acceptance in this space. Now, really quick, because I forgot to say it earlier, the 24K Club is open and we are accepting applications, but the early bird registration ends October 15th. So you are going to want to make sure that you go ahead and apply before October 15th so that you can save $500. You want to save $500 on your registration? Go ahead and apply. If you've been thinking about it, go ahead and apply, because an application is no guarantee of actually being in the program. So if you think it might be something that you're interested in, go ahead and hit that apply button. Okay. Now, that's the first step in surrendering, cleanse. The second step is to clarify. Let go of the narratives that you've been holding on to so tight. Clarifying requires that you draw up a new picture. So you might have pictured something in your mind, and that's why it's so hard in this transition. That's why it's so hard to press through, because you saw a thing one way and it's not working that way. But if you clarify, if you pull back, if you re-examine the picture, if you look at things a different way, you will see a different path to the same place that you were trying to go to. But you got to be willing to cleanse, and you got to be willing to clarify. Stepping back, clarify your priorities, clarify your why. What was the reason? Me just running you through that story of changing communities and changing lives and helping creatives and CEOs and senior directors and executive leadership and helping all of those people to infiltrate oppressive systems, that's my big why. That's a clarifying moment for me. So when I get the rejection, my clarification on my purpose, on my goals is to, okay, that didn't pan out. That must mean that God has a better plan for me elsewhere. So let's clarify. Does the rejection of that company hinder me from moving forward? Not at all. In fact, it motivates me to press forward because listen. I was in class, in dance class yesterday, and one of the songs that came on is, oh, I'm about to butcher this. a little bit of the words. That's the confidence of God, and He on my side. That's why I really feel like you can't stop me. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 and stuff like that. Like, I love music, so songs like that really do motivate me. And that was like the perfect song to hear after the rejection, right? Yeah, you might have rejected me. You might not want to see me win. You might be praying on my downfall, but first of all, I know how to pray against it, because period, we don't play with demons around here, and I'm not playing. That's number one. But number two, you can't stop me. You can't stop my purpose. The only way my purpose stops is if I stop. But I have to be willing to surrender to the process, to admit that that didn't work, to cleanse, and then to clarify, okay, moving forward, what's my goals? And then the very last step is to cultivate. Cultivate the best possible healing environment for yourself as you are in the process. Not waiting for us to get out, not waiting for these mystical, magical moments to arrive, creating those moments, joining in co-creation with God, meeting God in your journal, meeting God in your prayers, and being like, God, here's my heart. I don't know what to do with this. I need you to help me understand the best healing environment for me, Lord God. What are the things that would be good for your healing? What are the things that you need right now as you are in the process of healing? Because you're going to have some good days, and you're going to have some bad days, and you're going to have some okay days, because that's a normal part of transformation. So understanding your transformation, understanding what it is you want, what it is you need, what creates the best environment for your healing, what is best for your journey, what's going to make the most sense for your journey. So a recap of the 3 steps to surrender: cleanse, clarify, cultivate. I want you to spend some time in your journal answering a couple of questions. What cleansing activities do you need to do? What cleansing activities have you done? What areas of your life do you need to cleanse? Do you need to surrender to? How can you clarify your why for this particular season? I'm not even talking about your life goals unless you are in process and functioning in the fullest expression of your purpose right now. If you are in the process, in the role that you want to be in, and you're making that transition, and your current season heavily relates to your purpose, then I want you to try to answer that question. But if it doesn't relate to your purpose, then I want you to just think about this particular season. What needs to be clarified for this season? Okay, if you've surrendered, you've cleansed, now what do we need to change? What needs to happen there? And then cultivate. What is the best possible environment for your healing? It might not be Auntie Pookie in them house. It might not be. It might not be her house though. Cause her house might be what's taking away your confidence. Cause when she's saying stuff to you about like, oh yeah, I remember that happened in my job years ago, and I tried to tell my boss and my boss didn't listen, and it, like, her testimony might actually be throwing you off. So you might need to spend some time away from TT Pookie. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just saying, girl. I'm just saying. Relax. Okay? Okay? All right. Okay. It's time to talk about what I've been loving. Product recommendations, shout outs to family and friends, and overall gratitude. Let's get into it. Welcome back for another What I've Been Loving. As you know, I've been testing out products and different things for the 24K Club members. And the thing that I've been loving has been this cozy 24K Club $1 Million Mogul hoodie. I've been loving it, okay? Not only is it cute, but it is perfect for fall, and it's so cozy. Like, it's so cozy for real. And not only that, y'all, but it matches the 24K or the $1 Million Mogul water cup. Okay. And it's only available to the first 8 people that join the 24K Club. So again, early bird pricing ends October 15th, meaning if you want $500 off, then you need to apply by October 15th. And if you are one of the first 8, you get one of these hoodies included in your investment. Okay. If you're not one of the 8, you're going to miss it. So if you want this hoodie, then hit me up. All right. Go ahead and apply. Okay. That's what I've been loving. If you enjoyed today's episode, share the love. Share with your mama, share with your auntie, share with your best friend. Then head on over to Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review. Reviews help the podcast to grow. Well, that's all I have for you today. I'll see you out in these social media streets. Bye.